Welcome to the Small Talk podcast with the Smallegan Real Estate team. Today we're here with Emmitt Bronkema, owner of the Eden Café in downtown Grand Rapids. Welcome to the studio today.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Mike.
Awesome. So tell me about the Eden Café and let's talk about that.
Awesome. So Eden Café is a coffee shop that I was able to start, and I just kind of wanted an outlet to be able to show my creativity, but yet pursue a passion of mine, which is coffee, and also be able to maybe give back to Grand Rapids in some sort of way.
Okay. So it's in downtown Grand Rapids on Bridge Street, right?
Correct.
Okay. And why did you choose to open it there?
Honestly, so the story about this is pretty wild. So I was looking at an orange building next to the Coronado over on Bridge Street. I don't know if you exactly know where that is.
Yeah.
Okay. I was looking at that building, and so I was kind of dead set against that and forming my business plan, going to banks, asking for money. And they're like, hey, no, we're not going to give a college kid $125K to start a coffee shop. I'm like, okay, I understand. And so I put it on the back shelf, and then Bridge Street Market emailed me and asked for my business plan. And so I sent it over to them. They forwarded it over to Bridge Street Ministries on 1034 Bridge Street. And so they sent it over there, and they had a coffee shop there originally, and that kind of got dispersed. They were looking to go in a different direction with that, but they had everything for a coffee shop. They just knew that they weren't, I guess, the ones to do the coffee shop thing because they had a lot of stuff on their hands. And the person that was managing it before got her dream job somewhere else. And so they said, hey, we have the space for a coffee shop. Do you want to put it here? I was like, well, yeah, for sure.
Wow, that's kind of stars aligned for
exactly,
you, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think you just kind of think about it and it came true. That's awesome. So how's it been going?
It's been going really good. We're getting seen by people. Our growth on social media has been awesome, and people are coming in. It's super fun to meet new people, and they're like, hey, if you ever need anything, we could do something for you. So it's been really good. The city of Grand Rapids has been really helpful for us and nice to us, and so we're growing, and so it's been good.
How long have you been open?
About going on 7 months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any like special drink or like what are you guys known for?
Yeah. So we're really known for our lattes, but our most popular like special drink, so to say, would have to be our s'mores latte. And so it's like a brown sugar mocha, and we put graham crackers on top, and we also take a marshmallow, put it on a toothpick, and we roast it in the store in front of you. So you're able to get that campfire effect of an actual s'more, and then that's how you get your latte.
That's an experience, having that done in front of you. So do you have food there also, or is it just coffee?
Yeah, we have Van's Pastries, we have bagels, and Brooklyn Bodega sandwiches.
Wow. Okay, so you have it all. So how's it been so far? Like, what is the response that you're getting from social media? So people are coming in, they're finding you through social media. Are you getting tagged? Like, what are people talking about the most?
Yes. So it's been awesome to see people like put on their Instagram story, oh, I'm at Eden Café with this little cup of coffee, a video of the coffee that we made for them. And they're like, hey, check this out. Or my new favorite coffee shop. Or this drink was amazing at Eden Café. And it just so like rewards me.
Yeah.
But it's also just cool to see like, hey, people are enjoying it and people are liking it.
It's a world we're living in now, right?
For
like
sure.
A social world where people get to know you even before they come in and meet you in person, right?
Correct, exactly.
So that's really cool that you're benefiting from that. So do you do the designs in the cream that are on top of the coffee? Is that your thing too?
The latte art. Oh my word, it's very tough to get there, Mike. I'm not gonna lie to you, but we're practicing. Every time at every latte, I try to make an attempt. I can make a heart now, which is like the beginner of a latte art, but we're getting there.
What do you think is the pinnacle? Like, where would you like to see yourself?
So someone I saw on Instagram, and then someone made like a birthday cake on top of it. Like,
really?
The latte art with a birthday cake. I'm like, that's my pinnacle. That's what I want to be able to do. So when someone comes in for the birthday, I'm like, here you are.
Yeah, when do you think you can get there?
I'm hoping in a couple months. I'm hoping that we'll get there.
You put it out there in the world like this, and hopefully it comes true, right?
Exactly.
You set it, and then you'll have this to go back on in a couple months, right?
Yes, I got it.
What's been your favorite part of running your own business? Was this something that you've done before, or is this the first time you've ran your own business?
This is the first time I've owned my own business. I kind of figured I would do this later in life, but like you said, the stars aligned to give me the opportunity to do it earlier in life. And I guess the best part of owning your business is just kind of the way to express myself, right? Sometimes in the morning, right, 7 o'clock in the morning, it's tough to get up, but I get to think, hey, I get to do what I love. I get to go in, make coffee for someone, be able to communicate with people and talk to people, and be able to hopefully make their smile and help them to be able to make their day and start off the day on the right foot. And here's a cup of coffee and here's a smile, and to be able to send them off that way, it brings warmth to me, and it makes me do what I like to do.
That's awesome. So did you, when did you know that coffee, or was it coffee, or was it owning your own business, or what part of what you're doing was your dream?
I'd say coffee.
Okay.
From a young age, my grandma, but like when I was little, she'd like make me some coffee probably a lot earlier than I should have had coffee, with a little ice cube in it with some hazelnut creamer. And I fell in love from then. And then my mom was also very like, here's my coffee you can finish off at a young age. And so getting that exposure, I'm like, man, this is good. Man, I love working with coffee. Like, I want to be able to do that in life. And like, what better way than owning your own business and be able to do that in a space that you can do yourself?
Yeah. So are you a native to Grand Rapids, or did you grow up here?
I am not. I grew up in a little town called McBain, Michigan, which is a little bit, it's next to Cadillac.
Okay.
Yep.
And what brought you to Grand Rapids?
I went to school at Grand Valley.
Okay. That's seems to be what brings a lot of people to Grand Rapids. So did you go to school for business?
I went to school for social work.
Okay. And just was like, that's not what you wanted to do? Wasn't your calling? Or
yeah, I think it's still my calling, but I like you said, the stars aligned. I was like, let me just try this business thing out to try. Like, I got my whole life. I can go finish college later. I feel like starting that business while I'm young, to have that like hustle and energy and drive while I'm younger, would be a lot more easier on like my body, like a jazz, and the stars were aligned. So I was like, okay, I can finish college whenever I want. I still want to go back to social work. And so that's still there. That passion's still there. But I was like, let's try out coffee for a second.
And you probably could have some of that being a business owner, because you're going to get to relate to people. I'm sure people are going to talk to you, and you're going to have an impact on the community. So that's awesome that you kind of get to mix it all together.
Yeah, it's really good.
So what advice would you give to somebody that's thinking about starting their own business or coffee shop or cafe?
Yeah, I would really just implore them to like really do their research on what they want to start into. Like, I went into coffee like, oh, I can make coffee. I know ins and outs of coffee, but there's a lot more to it. There's like the business side of things. There's marketing. There's just the people dynamics. There's style of the coffee shop. What do you want the coffee shop to look like? So those all go into deciding factors if someone's going to come into your shop or business or not. To be able to make sure you do your research and understand like, hey, what's going to make Eden or said business special.
So I'm sure being a social company and coffee, you're getting people that repeat or return customers. What are some of the things that you feel like sets your place apart from someone down the street that they could easily go to?
Oh,
like,
for sure.
What's the experience like?
I think our experience is wonderful. Like, again, me loving to have that communication with people, love being able to ask about your day. I want to make it personal. I don't want to be like that barista that's like, all right, what's your order? All right, okay, good, and then go sit down. I want to be like, hey, how's your day? What do you have exciting that you're looking forward to today? Do you have any fun plans for the day? Like, just be able to have that communication with my customers, and be able to curate also, hey, do you like your coffee sweet? Do you like it more? Do you like to taste your coffee? I want to be able to curate to them. So like, man, this was a personalized experience instead of just like, all right, here's a stiff model of how we make our lattes. Like, we do have that, like a model. Like, if you like your coffee a little sweeter, maybe put a little half pump of vanilla in there. Or if you like it more like I like to taste the coffee, I'm going to calm down on those pumps of vanilla for you to make sure you can taste those flavors of the coffee.
So many choices.
Yes.
So besides coffee, what is something unique about Eden Café that, and not the food, but like the building, the experience, like what you get to see when you come in? And
yes.
I think you're part of that uniqueness. But what are some other things?
I'd like to think our building is pretty cool. We have a nice little nook. It's like a corner of just glass. Yeah. With a nice little coffee, like a sit-in. It's like a living room. Makes you feel at home. You and a couple of friends can come in and catch up about your day, and you can be able to look down the street, Bridge Street, look at the buildings over, and especially in the mornings with the sunrise. It's a really cool experience. So that's what I like to do if we're not busy. Do some little paperwork there, sip my coffee, and just watch the sunrise over Grand Rapids.
That's awesome.
That's
so
cool.
How did you come up with the name Eden Café? Was that in your business plan, or what did you did you come up with that name?
Yeah, I love the word Eden because I have so many like natural meanings to it. One of them was like pleasure and delight, and so that's what I want people to feel when they come into Eden. That pleasure and delight, like, hey, this was a great experience, and also just kind of going back to like the biblical sense, the Garden of Eden, right? It was good, like that's what it was said. So I want Eden to be good. I want it to be a good quality place where you can come and relax and be able to enjoy that company with your friend and be able to read that book and be able to have that experience.
So was your original plan to start a coffee shop in Grand Rapids?
Yeah, I guess not necessarily in Grand Rapids, just kind of wherever I ended up. And then, as like you said, the stars aligned to say, hey, we have all these things in a row for you to start a coffee shop here with everything there for you. And I was like, I can't pass that down.
So how has your experience been opening a business in Grand Rapids? Would you say that like there's anything about the city in specific that has made it a better spot for you?
Yeah, I would have to say it's big, but with a family feel. And so coming from a small town where it was like strictly just family feel, I love that. And so being able to come to a bigger city and have that too, and everyone's like, hey, if you need anything, I specialize in this, we can help you out. And it's super interesting. It's super neat to feel that love and that embrace that, hey, we can help you in this. And then it's like, thank you very much for being so receptive of Eden and of me being here.
That's awesome. So how has the city supported you so far? Like what other things have they done for you? I get them just putting you in front of, was it Meyer? The Bridge Street Market?
Bridge Street Market, yeah. Being Bridge Street Market, asking for a business plan to be able to give it to someone else, to be able to pass along an idea and to be able to help me out is just super refreshing, right, and rewarding. I feel like it's really unique because they have a coffee shop in their market. Like they don't need to have a coffee shop down the road from them.
Sure.
But they're like, hey, we want to see young businessmen thrive and succeed. We want to help our neighbors out, and it was super rewarding to see that.
Yeah. So, like, what hours are you open there?
We're open from 7 to 2:30.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And do you pretty much do that all on your own?
Yes, I open and close, and then on Saturdays we're open from just 9 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I imagine you live pretty close then.
Yeah, I live right around the corner actually, so it's super nice to be able to walk to work when needed.
When you went to Grand Valley, did you live in the downtown campus or did you live
I did not. I live in Allendale.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And how is Allendale different than Grand Rapids?
Again, it's like the being closer to the city, having things to do. Like again, I'm like right on Bridge Street, so I can walk to literally anything. And being so close to like, oh, I need gas, go get to a gas station. Oh, what's to eat? There's tons of restaurants downtown within biking distance and walking distance that I can go to. Yet with that family feel, you can't beat that.
Sure. So when you went to Grand Valley, did you use the Laker line, the rapid bus line?
Yep, I did.
Do you still use that?
Every once in a while, if I need to get to someplace and I need a cheap way to get there, and it's right down the road, it's super convenient, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the things that I like about our city is that there's so many different options. I think when you're in a smaller city, you're not going to have transportation options or a downtown feel, and I'm sure that helps business too.
Yeah, it does.
What would, besides Eden Coffee, what would be something that you would tell somebody they need to visit or experience when they come to Grand Rapids?
So I'm a big fan of, I think it's Barrio, the restaurant right on, I think it's Monroe. They have great chips. I'm a big just sucker for a good homemade tortilla chip.
Okay.
And so just going there, get some chips and cheese or chips and dip or chips and salsa, and just kind of sitting down with a friend and catching up. That's my go-to place.
Awesome. Any other hidden gems that are really important to you in the city of Grand Rapids, like places to go or
Lookout Park?
Okay.
That's kind of what kind of pushed me to inspire to make Eden Café. That kind of been a gem for me to watch the sunset at night and just kind of thinking like, what can this be? And so being able to have that moment there on that bench looking out at the city of Grand Rapids, like it's just so rewarding and refreshing to me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sounds like you really have a passion for coffee and for the city of Grand Rapids, and it's good that you got your opportunity to follow your dreams. So, what other local businesses would you say on Bridge Street that somebody should check out?
Our neighbors, Taco Del Cuñado. I mean,
Oh
they have
man,
the
my
best.
wife loves that place.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, they got some of the best tacos in the city. I would say so. I definitely got to check them out.
Where do you see Grand Rapids going over the next 5 years? So you've been here for probably about 5 years now.
Yes.
What do you see over the next 5 years?
Oh, it's growing. It's super nice to see that. I've like being plugged into Grand Rapids now and understanding what's actually being developed is super super cool to see. Like, hey, people are moving to Grand Rapids. It's like I hear people saying it's going to be the next Detroit, like when Detroit was like popping and stuff like that. So people are just moving to the west side of the state, including Grand Rapids. So the growth and development it's growing. It's the 5 years will definitely give it that perfect time it needs to develop to its true potential.
So do you make it back up to McBain quite a bit? Or?
Yes, I do. I love to go
family?
see my like every other weekends when I can, especially with owning the business, right? It's kind of hard to get up there, but try to get up there about once a month to go see my mom and brother and sisters for sure.
Okay. Do they come down to visit you?
Yep. About, I'd say once a month they come on down to make their way to buy some coffee and we get to hang out and it's a good time.
Bet it's a big difference in culture for them to come down here. You've been here,
For sure.
so you kind of have a better understanding of it. But somebody that lives in a small town like that, I think, would kind of almost be overwhelmed.
Yeah, I know one of my family members said to getting on the highway, it's a pretty fast maneuver to get to the Cadillac exit from Lane to Cadillac.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I get beeped at a couple times every time I try to make that transition. I'm like, you got it.
I hope it wasn't me that beeped at him. So what's been one of the most rewarding moments in your career so far?
So every time I'd have to say when I open up and I see my cafe either full or just have a couple people in it, but each individual has their own thing going on in their life and their own stories. And so it's super cool to see that man, they chose to spend time in not my creation, but the cafe instead of going anywhere else. That's super rewarding to me. Hey, we're doing something here. This is meaning something to people, especially when they come back as a regular and say, man, that was a great cup of coffee. Or they come and talk to me and I'm able to have a good conversation and also remember that conversation and say, hey, how was that going with such and such? And they're able to reciprocate oh, wow, great for remembering. Thank you for remembering that.
Wow.
And be able to have that conversation to build a deep relationship with them and be able to understand what's going on in their life to maybe be able to support them in a way or be able to do something for them, right? Make some cookies, give them some coffee, right? Or something that we can, Eden Café or me personally can support them by.
Yeah, that's you don't get that a lot nowadays. Most of the big box places, you probably don't get the same person the next day. So it's good that you appreciate that. And I think it does take a special type of person to get joy from that. Mm-hmm. So that's
thank
awesome.
You.
So, so what books are that have influenced you in running your business? Do you read books or listen to podcasts, something that's helped you kind of get a head start in business?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't read a whole lot, but there's one book that sticks out. I guess it helps me with my motivation to do what I do. It's called The Crazy Love by Francis Chan. And it just kind of taught me how to put others first besides myself. The best way of saying it is I don't need to do it for me, right? I got to get over myself to be able to, that one person that comes into Eden at 7 a.m., if I'm not there at 7 a.m., could probably change their life. I don't know what's going on in their life. And so that book said, hey, we need to put ourselves over, we need to put ourselves, not exactly last, but we need to put others over ourselves, understand hey, we're committed to this and to spread love to other people in that sort of sense.
If you get it, it's typically going to come back,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
if you give it out, I think you understand that. So, what skills or talents are important for somebody wanting to start their own business?
I would definitely have to say drive. That's the biggest thing that my family taught into me, and drive and practice. You're not going to get anywhere if you're not willing to work for it. And I believe that to a sense, because obviously I was blessed to have this opportunity to start this coffee shop. But if I didn't have the drive to make this business plan and all the banks saying no, and it's oh, okay, I guess it's a no. To not finish that business plan when Bridge Street Market asked for my business plan, I would not be here. And so I want to thank my family for giving me that drive and that ability to have that stick-to-itiveness to be able to hey, even though people are saying no, or to keep on pushing through those barriers, because eventually it will pay off.
It's good. I'm glad it's paying off for you, and in both a business and opportunity to spread joy.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Are there any questions that I didn't ask you that you wish I would have?
Nothing too crazy. Definitely, I like the question about what makes Eden unique. I like to kind of build on that a little bit more. I just want people to know, like, hey, like, we want to make sure we make your day, right? We want to make sure that we're not here to, like, oh, we're collecting money. Like, that's not what we're here for. We're here to make your day at the best the expense possible. Whether it's like, hey, we don't want to charge you. We don't try to charge a lot for your for a cup of coffee or a latte. We don't charge extra for alternative milks, especially because of, like, people can't digest milk. I don't want to, like, I'm not here to, like, make money off you not being able to digest milk. Like, that's not fair. And so making sure that everyone's getting the fair opportunity to come in and enjoy a cup of coffee is definitely for our sake. And I want to be able to hear your story. So come on in. I'd love to have a cup of coffee with you, especially you, Mike. Come on in. I'd like to be able to talk to you about what happens in your life and what happens with Smallegan in real estate.
Awesome. I talked to Jeremy about that. I was like, we should have probably done the podcast at his coffee shop. That could have been cool. So how many cups of coffee do you say you drink on a day?
Oh, so I like to, especially iced drinks, kind of make them in a shaker. I like to sample it just in case, make sure it's tasting right. So I'd probably have to say I drink about 3 12-ounce cups of coffee a day.
Okay, that's not too crazy.
That's not too crazy.
I was expecting like 7.
Oh, so. No. I try not to drink that much because my little heart will not be able to take it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. And I think we should probably highlight one more time. Where exactly is Eden Café, and how can someone find you?
Eden Café is on 134 Bridge Street. Mm-hmm. I always tell people, hey, where's Eden Café? That by El Taco, you know where El Taco's El Cañado is? Oh, yeah, I know where that's at.
Yeah,
right across the street.
Okay.
So right across the street from El Taco's El Cañado, you can search us up on Google. We'll come across and just type in, to click on the address. Google Maps should pop up and send you right there.
What social platforms can they find you on?
Instagram and Facebook. We're also on Yelp and Uber Eats and DoorDash. So if you need it shipped to you,
oh man,
you have DoorDash to bring Eden to you. So yeah.
It's great that we live in a world like that you don't have delivery drivers, but now you do. Right?
Now I do, exactly.
So, well, thanks for joining us today. It was great to learn about you and your passion for coffee and for helping people, or for listening to people, and learning more about your background and your business journey. Thanks for being on the podcast today.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Mike.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Small Talk Podcast with the Smallegan Real Estate team. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our earlier episodes.